Hi everyone, it's Michelle. Welcome back. The first thing I wanted to say was Happy New Year to everyone. I hope that 2016 brings everyone much health and happiness, and I hope your year is filled with plenty of love and laughter. I always like the beginning of a new year. It's sort of an exciting time where, everybody's trying to make changes in their life and that kind of thing, and it's a very exciting time for everyone. So Happy New Year to everyone. And I wanted to say Merry Christmas. I haven't been here since before Christmas, so I hope if you celebrate Christmas, you had a fabulous Christmas, or whatever holidays you might celebrate in December. I hope they were wonderful. So today I thought I would do my December favorites for you, and then next week I am going to work on a year-end favorites. So what were my favorite products of 2015? Because I definitely have some winners, products that have become holy grail for me and that kind of thing, and I thought I would share those with you as well. So I don't have a ton of products to share with you for December, but I do have a few that I definitely wanted to share. The first one I'm going to start with is a fragrance, and I think I might have talked about having a sample of this at one point, but I fell in love with this fragrance and I ended up purchasing it, and it is the Donna Karan. So this is a new fragrance that came out, I think in October, but it is Donna Karan, and it is liquid cashmere black. It comes in a white as well. I love the black one. I don't really care for the white one. So this is, I love this. I love this. It's a very soft fragrance, but it is quite sexy. And so it's supposed to have black cherry as the top note. I don't really get that at all when I smell it. But there's a floral in the mid note. I definitely pick up the jasmine in the floral. And then the base notes are, they're like sandalwood, patchouli, and then something sweet. Something definitely sweet. And I don't think the sweet's coming from the cherry because it's not that kind of sweet. And it's not really a vanilla scent either. It's a beautiful, beautiful, sensual, sweet, sensual fragrance, I would say. It's woody at the end. It wears very close to the body. So when you walk into a room, your perfume isn't going to come in before you. But if someone is close to you, they're definitely going to smell it. I love it, love it. So I picked up a bottle. Okay, let's talk about my makeup favorites. Well, first of all, we'll start with this. So I purchased the Wayne Goss Holiday Brush for 2015. It's an amazing brush. So the brush is blue squirrel mixed with a little bit of synthetic. It's very, very pinched, and Wayne talks about it as a finishing brush. For me, I like to use it for bronzing my face and finishing. It's beautiful. It's so soft, so it's not going to move your makeup around when you use it. The brush was expensive. I talked about it. I did a whole video on it. It was expensive. My opinion, totally worth the price. I love it. It has to be in my favorites. I love it. Okay, let's talk about makeup. Where do I want to go first? I'll talk about my blush. This is actually a highlighter, not a blush. So when Chanel came out with their holiday collection, I didn't pick it up right away, but I saw a few people talking about it, so then I picked it up. And it is the highlighter. It's the Jus Contrast Lumiere, so it's like in the blush palette type thing. I believe it's a baked product, but it is just a nice pinky highlight. It's very sort of neutral, but definitely a little bit pink. I have this on today. This is a beautiful, beautiful everyday highlighter. The color is called Coup de Minuit. I love this. This is a beautiful everyday, if you want to just, I take my blush brush and I just buff it over my blush, and it just gives a nice sheen to the cheek. Very natural, very wearable. That's why I like it. It's very, very wearable, especially if you have light skin. So I love this. I think you could probably still get it. Definitely, in my opinion, worth the price of admission. Okay, I picked up, this is a total favorite, I picked up the Tartelette In Bloom palette. Now, the other Tartelette palette like this, I didn't really like. It was too cool toned for me. The shadows were really nice, but it was just too cool toned for me. This one, however, is not. This is a beautiful palette. So you get 12 shadows. There are 3 shadows that are like satiny shimmers, and the rest of them are matte. Sorry about the glare. These are beautiful shadows. This is a great palette if you're looking for a beautiful neutral palette. I don't think it was limited edition or anything. I've heard people talk about, you know, it was meant to be used like this is an eye look, this is an eye look, this is an eye look. I don't necessarily use it that way. I just kind of use it. The only shadow I will say, the mattes are very nice to work with, just like the other palette was. You know, they go on really nicely. They do kick up a little dust when you put your brush in them, but that does not bother me. You just tap that off. They go on, they lay on the skin beautifully. They blend beautifully. They don't get muddy. That's what I'm looking for in a shadow. The only shadow that I might not really use that much is this one. It's called Funny Girl, because this is a little bit, it has a little bit, it's a really pretty color, but the glitter particles in this, you probably might not be able to see them, are a little bit chunkier. They don't really, I don't really get fallout from it, but this would be something I would use very lightly on my lid if I used it, or I would use it just with my finger like in the center for a pop of color. That's kind of how I would use that. But these other 2 satin colors, these 2, are really, really nice to wear. I am wearing this palette today, sort of a mixture of all kinds of the colors in here. I love this palette. It's great for travel too, because you got some good deep tones. You have great transition colors. You have great matte brow bone colors. Just great. This is a great palette. It comes with a big mirror for travel. It's great. Highly recommend it. The other eyeshadow palette, somewhat of an eyeshadow palette that I bought this month that I'm really liking more than I thought I would, is the MAC, I think it's Ellie Goulding is how she says her name. It might be Ely, but I think it's Ellie Goulding. I really didn't know who she was, but I've been told she's a pop singer. So there was part of that collection was this palette, which is an eye quad, and then underneath there's a beautiful cream color base that you can use as a highlighter or like an eye base or anything that you want to use it for. It's a really nice color. These shadows, so these are beautiful, beautiful neutral shadows. There's 2 mattes in here, so this is matte and this is matte. This is it's a satin, but there's very little satin to it. When you look at it, it looks very satin, but you don't get a ton of sheen from it. And then this one has fairly chunky glitter in it that does give you fallout. So this is not my favorite, but I will tell you, when I traveled for the holidays, I went home for Christmas we were there for 5 or 6 days. I traveled with this palette and an eyeshadow stick for my eye looks. That's all. And mascara, of course, and liner. But this is all I brought with me because you can do so much with this palette. You know, you can wear a really nice neutral lid, and just blend it out with this. You could, you know, wear a deeper, like I wore just this one day. I'll swatch a couple of these for you. So the couple of these colors, let's see. I think Saddle is the only permanent color in here. So this is Saddle. We probably all own it. It's a beautiful warm brown color. It's a matte. It's beautiful. Then this color, which is beautiful, is a satin, and it's called Hanging On. And I don't believe this is a permanent shade, but this is gorgeous. All over the lid, or to deepen up the outer corner. There it is. Because it's deep enough to deepen up the outer corner, but it's not so deep you can't wear it all over the lid, even in the daytime. And then this, You Are My Everything. Yeah, this is called You Are My Everything. And it's just a nice, it's sort of a peachy tone. And I was using it in my crease. It's right here. Sorry, my hands are really dry. This isn't going on really well. This is a beautiful palette. And then this, this frosty guy doesn't have much color. It's just mostly glitter. So this is the kind of thing you would use, you know, you would use it, I would use it like some of the Tom Ford glittery shadows, I would just press my finger in it and press it on the middle of my eye or something. I wouldn't necessarily use that as a shadow. There's very little color to it, as you can see. It's just mostly like a glitter overlay, and the glitter will give you fallout unless you use a really sticky base. So that's one I would be careful with, but this is a great everyday palette. And then to have this with you, this is a cream color base, I believe, is what, yeah, it's cream color base. So it's meant to use as a highlighter, or like I've been using it as an eye base. It's just a really pretty, can you see it? Yeah, peachy tone. But if you put it on lightly on your cheeks, it's like this beautiful sort of glowy, slightly bronzy look. This is a great palette. If you like neutral palettes, like I said, I traveled with this for 6 days of eye looks, and it was fine. I had a good time. And I wasn't like wanting for anything else because I had that with me. So I thought that was a great sign that I had been using it. After I purchased it, I'd been using it for a few days, and I thought, I'm going to travel and I'm just going to take this because I love it and I'm going to see what I could do with it, and it was perfect. Okay, and lastly, I didn't think I was going to ramble on this much. Lastly, I picked up one of the Ellie Goulding lipsticks as well, and I love it. It is what I have on my lips today. It's a cream sheen, and the color is called Only You, which is just a nice, you know, my usual peachy pink, maybe slightly more color to it. There it is right there. It leans maybe more peachy on me at times. The lighting is it'll depend with the lighting. But again, I traveled with this and one other lipstick, and it was fine because this is enough color. I felt like that, you know, my holiday looks were fine with just this, and I didn't have to have a ton of things with me. I like the MAC cream sheens. Not everybody does. This is really nice. It doesn't seem to dry my lips at all. You know, the packaging isn't all that special. It just has, you know, the little logo that they came up with for her, but I loved the color. Loved the color. It's such a me color. This is definitely a lipstick that I will wear all the time and definitely go through. So I wasn't really worried about purchasing that. So I'm looking just to make sure I covered everything. That is it for my favorites for December. Not a lot of new things to talk about for December. I didn't buy a ton of makeup, but these were some of my favorites for the month. Again, next week I will pull together what were my yearly favorites for 2015, because again, I definitely found some new products that I am definitely in love with. So I'll work on putting that together for you guys. That is it for today. Again, I wish everybody a happy, healthy 2016, and I will see you again soon.